Hey guys, welcome back to Unlimited Vigilance. We have another weekly update. A lot has happened this week. There's about 2 more weeks left until the release of Jump to Lightspeed, so there was a lot going on this week. Let's just get right into it. So, with the weekly Final Fantasy, not Final Fantasy Flight, Fantasy Flight games stream, they did a Twin Suns little demo of of the game. Well, the thing is, now that Twin Suns, now that we have 4 sets, Twin Suns is now at its maximum capacity. In other words, the intention of having 80, the intention of having 80 cards in a deck is now complete. In other words, with 4 sets out, now you can play 80 cards. They have the right amount of cards to give options to players. So if you're interested in playing Twin Suns or seeing how Twin Suns is played, that's actually a nice stream to watch. Also, during that stream, there were some prestige cards that were revealed, and we'll show that now here. So we have the Starhawk Prestige card revealed, and it's a great looking card there. And this is the first time we're seeing the Starhawk. And as part of the weekly update, we also got those the Starhawk revealed as one of the cards for this week. Oh, and by the way, just to follow up last week's video, I was wrong. There were a lot more cards that needed to be spoiled. I had misread or heard something incorrect. So no, there's a lot more cards that were spoiled this week. So we have one prototype here, or not prototype, the Prestige card. This is a legendary card, the Starhawk. It has Ambush. It costs 9. It's a 6 power, 9 defense card. New Republic vehicle, capital ship. It's New Republic, so it's after the rebellion. It has Ambush, and then while paying costs, you pay half as many resources rounded up. So that's a nice little advantage there for all the other cards that you may have. Then we have this other prestige card revealed, the Profundity. Great looking card. Good, what's it called? Perspective there. It just looks great, this card. You can kind of see the movement in this card, and it's just great artwork. Great artwork. This is another legendary. It's a Rebel vehicle capital ship that costs 9. It's an aggressive card here. It attacks for 8, defense for 9. When played, when defeated, choose a player. They discard a card from their hand. Then, if they have more cards in their hand than you, they discard a card from their hand. So, you could have a person just discard 2 cards from their hand, which is pretty nice. But just look at the artwork. Looks really nice. These prestige cards are going to look nice in person, right? But yeah, that's a good one. Then we have another one. These are special because these are the first time we see horizontal cards. And these cards, even though in the standard set, these cards are vertical, but because of the prestige cards, these are horizontal cards that you can play horizontal if you want. Now these capital ships, the Annihilator and the Executor. We saw the Executor last week. The Annihilator, I think, was also last week as well, from what I remember. But the point here is the horizontal view of these prestige cards, which look amazing. 2 legendaries that you could also pull from those Carbonite packs. And then next we have the what's it called, the dipsticks, some word that I can't pronounce. Essentially, they're 2 cards that if you put them together, they make one piece of art. You have Red 5 and Victor Leader prestige cards. And you can see there's the 2 cards right there. If you split it in the middle, it makes 2 cards. However, the TIE Advance does look bigger than where it should be just because of the perspective, but I understand that because they had to make the card, the ship, prominent on the card itself. But either way, this looks great, right? These 2 prestige cards together. One's a rare, one's an uncommon, but yeah, it looks really nice. And then we have a preview of a serialized card. This was pulled, I think, on an Asmodee stream, from what I read. Now this is a Home 1 Prestige card. You can see that this is serialized. It's number 149 out of 250. If you pull one of these, it's going to be extremely rare. Not sure how valuable it's going to be, but only 250 printed. So now there's 249 that are out there in the world somewhere. This is another legendary, and as part of the design, you can see that the border of like the Home 1 name and the stats down here has that yellow. You know, if you look at the other Prestige cards, they're kind of like that silver metallic, but with these Prestige, they have a little added color that I think matches the aspect of the card itself. So I have to see more serialized cards, but that is what was revealed. Not this one. This was not revealed on the stream, but the other ones were. Now, some of the other updates for this this week were also a new set, something new for that's going to come out this year in 2025, earlier in the year. Now this set is called that's not the right screen. Let's go back. Now this new set is called Intro Battle Hoth. So we got a preview here of a little spoiler, I guess you can say. And this pack is essentially designed for new players for TCGs. Not necessarily new players for Star Wars, which is great, but new players for trading card games. It says here, self-contained product specifically created for players who have never played a TCG. So if you, like me, for example, this would have been great a year ago because I had never played a TCG in my life. No Pokemon, no Yu-Gi-Oh, no Magic, none of that. This was the first time for me ever playing a TCG, and it's been 1 year so far playing a TCG. This would have been great for me to learn. However, I could safely say that the starter decks for Star Wars Unlimited were helpful, and I learned the game pretty quickly. Now this product will be available later on in the year, and most, sorry. And I feel like, I'm not sure, they haven't said any details, but it seems to me like this product is similar to the product that Pokemon comes out with, the battle stadium product, where it's aimed for like straight up beginners. You get 2 beginner decks, very simple, basic gameplay. Also, Lorcana did something similar, and they put it out in retail stores. For people that don't know Lorcana, they can learn quickly what Lorcana is. I think that's also something that is being done here. I'm not sure if this is something that's going to be in retail stores, in Targets, Walmarts, maybe. I wonder if that's the goal, to reach those type of players. The ones that are just going to Target or Walmart and they see this on the shelf and maybe pick it up. That would definitely expand the number of players for the game, I think. Just to have this, iconic image here of Hoth with Leia, Vader, the Rebels, the AT Walkers. Having that on the shelves can, lure more players into the game. So maybe this product will be something that's going to be available in Walmart, Targets, who knows? That's a lot of potential there for new players. But this will be coming out later on in the year, and as we know, there's not going to be any more starter decks or starter sets like we got in the first year. Now we're having these decks that are more aimed towards competitive play. But this might be a good intro into Star Wars Unlimited for new players of Star Wars Unlimited, and obviously new players of a trading card game. Once this releases, we'll get a little copy to preview it and see it, even though I already know how to play Star Wars Unlimited, but obviously I want to see what the contents are of this. We did get a preview, another image. Well, this is an image from their Instagram stream here. So we did get an image preview of some of the cards that will be in this pack. We have Leia Organa, we have First Legion Trooper, Millennium Falcon, another Millennium Falcon, and E-Web something, Gunner. E-Web Gunner is what it looks like. So, new Leia, new Millennium Falcon. Not sure if this will be part of the cycle of like the new set that will come out after Jump to Lightspeed, maybe. We don't know the previews yet. We have just images, art, the names. We have a few little here on Leia on attack, heal 1, and blah blah blah, and then it says and 1 damage to something. The Millennium Falcon has 1 plate, if you something, HP, then an enemy. Yeah, so we don't know exactly what these cards do, but this is interesting that we have new Leia, new Millennium Falcon. Even though we get a new Millennium Falcon for Jump to Lightspeed, we're getting something new here. Now this is all obviously all centered in Hoth, in the Hoth battle. So you're gonna have Leia, you're gonna have Vader. On Hoth, Luke was there, Han was there, Chewie was there. So most likely we're gonna get all those characters. If you look at the box itself, we do see Vader, we see Luke, we see Han right there, we see Chewie. So we see the Snow Speeders. We're definitely getting them as new cards. Now I'm wondering, are these going to be cards just exclusive to this new set? Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and find out to get more spoilers. But this is something that is very interesting. Are these cards going to be added to the pool of the new rotation? So we'll see what happens with that. We also got this week we got previews of weekly play promos. So some cards were spoiled. Apparently these are some of the new cards you will be able to get if you go to the weekly play tournaments at your local store. We got a little preview here. We got Han Solo, which looks great, looks very cinematic, very similar to what we see in the movies. We have the Han Solo legendary card. So this is the first time we see a weekly play promo as a legendary. Now if you look down here where it says JTL, Jump to Lightspeed, P, and in English, so that's new in the sense because like after the initials of the set, there's never like an extra letter. So the P might be promo, Jump to Lightspeed promo. So that's new, but the fact that you can get a legendary in weekly play promos, that's big, because we would get only rares and commons and uncommons, but now you can get a legendary. Now my other question is, like, if you look down here where it says number 37, it doesn't tell you out of how many. So is this a weekly play promo, or is this a promo that you can get in another event? So what we've seen from other weekly play promos, for example, we've seen cards like this, for example, where you have that symbol there, which signified that it was a weekly play promo, but you also had numbering 4 out of 20. So within those weekly play promos, you can get 20 cards. So now what we're looking at here is that if this is confirmed to be a weekly play promo, we don't know. It just says P with the promo. I'm thinking it's promo. It's number 37, and we don't know out of how many. It's a 37 out of 40, 37 out of 50. However, we've only seen 20 so far weekly play promos in these last 3 sets. So we don't know what this means in terms of like what type of promo this is. Anyways, you can still get a foil promo card, Han Solo legendary, number 37. Next, we also have these spoiled as well, and same thing. We have Jump to Lightspeed with the P. So these are commons, number 20 something, with the Onyx Squadron Brute, red 5, non-common number 12, and this is if you look at, that's an S. If you don't know the number there, that's the special card, the rarity special card of Fett's Fire Spray. So yeah, I mean, if these are the weekly play promos, that's an interesting new way of numbering things. Obviously we're going to see those later when things start getting spoiled. We're going to get more clearer news, but that's just a little preview of some of the supposed weekly play promos. And it might be because there are a lot of the play promos, weekly play promos, had that border, that colored border of the aspect around it. So it wouldn't surprise me if these are the new weekly play promos. So yeah, that's a lot of the things that were spoiled this week. We also have an article that was released by FFG called Behind Unlimited Recalibrations. This was an interesting article. If you're interested in knowing like the technical aspects of making a card game and what some of the decisions they did to make cards, create cards, the curve, and why they decided to do certain things, it's a good read. It's a good read to kind of get an idea of some of the decisions they had to make the game balanced but also fun. Now, something that they did highlight in this article that I wanted to share was the future. Going forward with year 2, supposedly, they had to kind of recalibrate or readjust some of the way they design cards. Now, I know they've been working on this game for many years. I'm not sure how much recalibration they were able to do, just because they're already working on sets for year probably 3 and 4, most likely 4 right now. Now, what changes did they have to do on year 2 to kind of balance it? I'm not sure what kind of changes they had to kind of redo. Either way, something I wanted to read here from this paragraph. It says, but the experiential arc of a game breaks down when both players are playing strategies so siloed that they don't experience it. If hyper-linear aggro decks focus exclusively on reducing the opponent's base to 0 HP are too fast, then the game ends before one player gets to play with their cool character. So you've seen that a lot with aggro decks where things just happen too fast that you get no chance to play Luke or some other players. If hyperlinear control decks focus on removing every unit with the board arc too strong, then the opponent doesn't get to play with their cool characters and the game lacks an emotional climax because it drags on too long. And that happens a lot with control decks now, right? It's just you put something down, gone, perilous position, whatever things that people put down just to remove, that happens a lot. And can get frustrating and can get kind of boring, actually, to be honest with you. Just that you see a blue vigilance player, you're like, okay, I'm expecting a lot of removal. You play something, then it just gets removed just like that. So easy. Therefore, going into year 2, we recalibrated our goals and expectations for the game. Push the game away from the extremes and towards the mid-range. So what they're saying is they're trying to focus more on the middle of the game, not to have decks that are so aggressive and decks that are too aggressive in the end, with control with those big units. They want to have more mid-range fun, because what they talked about in the article is that they want to have players experience a beginning, a middle, and an end, something like a good story would have. And right now, with a lot of decks, some of the players are not experiencing a lot of middle or a lot of end. They just experience a lot of demise quickly in the beginning. So it's an interesting article if you want to read something about their behind the scenes stuff, which is nice to kind of get a glimpse of some of the things they're planning for the game. Now for weekly spoilers. We have about 50 cards spoiled this week, so let's go through these quickly because this is going to be a long video as well. So let's just start with Tam Rivora. It's a 3-cost ground unit. It's a 2/5 with stats, so it has a pretty good defense. Piloting is going to cost you 2. Attached unit gains on attack. Give an enemy unit in this arena -1/-1 for this phase. So with this one, you'll get a +2/+2 on any kind of vehicle. And then once you start attacking, you're going to give a reduction in stats to an enemy unit. So it doesn't have to be the one you're attacking, it can be any enemy unit. And it's a rare pilot here for the first order. Next we have Admiral Yularen. And Admiral Yularen is in German. I did not translate this, so I'm not ready to read this one. But yeah, we have Admiral Yularen. It's a 1/5. And actually, let me look it up real quick. So with Admiral Yularen, we have this 3-cost ground unit. And if we go look at the SWU, it says when played, choose Grit, Restore 1, Sentinel, or Shielded. While this unit is in play, each friendly vehicle unit gains the chosen keyword. Interesting. Now, I'm not sure if this is translated correctly. It might be, might not be. But it says each friendly unit gains the chosen keyword. I'm not sure what the chosen keyword means. Uh, but anyways, when we get this one, I guess in English it might be worded differently. I'm not sure. But we do have a new Admiral Yularen. I think this is the third one that we have so far. So if you get to choose what keyword to give a card, that's very powerful. Actually, it's not shielded, sentinel, restore one grit. Okay, that's a pretty interesting ability there, which would be pretty cool. Next, we have Hondo Onaka, which is a legendary. This might have been the last legendary spoiled. It's a double blue card here on the ground. It is a 3/5 unit, 3 attack, 5 defense. It comes in shielded. On attack, you may control of a non-pilot upgrade on a unit and attach it to a different eligible unit. So you're going to be stealing upgrades from one pilot or not non-pilot. So from one unit to another. It can't be a pilot. You can't switch pilots. But anyways, this is a legendary card for double blue. Then we have the space unit. It's a 2 cost space unit in vigilance. It's a 3 attack, 5 hit point ship. But the key thing is that this unit can't attack. It's just made for defense. So if you want to put this or make it a sentinel, you can make it a sentinel. It's just providing defense for your base or for any kind of unit. So interesting little card here. It's a rare, so who knows how this can be something helpful. I mean, it could be helpful. It does defend for 3. So if you're putting this out as a sentinel, it could take a few damage. So it might be interesting to use this. We also have a 2 cost space unit in vigilance, another one with the Naboo starfighter there. It's a 2 cost, 2 hit, 2 attack, 2 hit point ship. This one has grit on it. It's a common. It's one of those ships that's going to get removed quickly, so the grit might not be relevant with this one. Unless you put a pilot on it, then you'll have grit, more capabilities of getting that grit available. Next, we have a 3 cost space unit, the Omicron Strikecraft, another one in vigilance. It's a 2 hit, 2 attack, 3 hit point sentinel Republic vehicle transport. So we have another Republic ship that can be a sentinel in space. I'm not sure if you have a Republic that's a sentinel yet in space, but we have one now in new Jump to Lightspeed. Next, we have a 3 cost ground unit in vigilance as well, Outer Rim Outlaws. I might have spoiled this last week. I don't remember. There's so many cards to keep track of. This is a 3 cost, 3 attack, 3 defense Underworld Bounty Hunter. Comes in shielded. So it's just a simple card that's just going to protect you from some attack. You know, it can attack. It could take an attack and survive at least one attack. Then we have a 5 cost space unit, the Magnificent Frigate. This is a generic capital ship. Well, in the sense like it doesn't belong to heroism or vigilance. Anybody can use it. It is a 5 cost, 4 attack, 7 defense. Capital ship. It's a separatist, so you could use this with Dooku, for example, and give it exploit if you want to make it cheaper. And then we have another 5 cost space unit, the U-Wing Lander in vigilance, so anybody can use this. Villainy or heroism. This is a rebel vehicle transport. It's attack for 2 and defend for 2. Now this is interesting. When played, give 3 experience tokens to a unit. So for 5, even though it has low stats, but for 5 cost, you're going to be giving 3 experience tokens to a unit. So you're going to make something extremely powerful. When this unit survives an attack and survives, you may attach an upgrade on this unit to another eligible friendly unit. So if you have a pilot on here and this ship survives somehow, maybe a pilot with grit, who knows, or something, this unit has to survive, then you could attach an upgrade on this unit to another vehicle. So how often is that going to happen? I don't know. I mean, it's such a low cost ship, it might not survive that often, but just that when played ability is pretty strong actually. Then we have an upgrade in vigilance, the Grim Valor, which with that awesome scene from Rogue One with the Corvette slamming into the Star Destroyer. It says attached unit gains when defeated, you may exhaust a unit. So obviously you want to put this little buff on something, right, in space or whatever. Doesn't even have to be in space, but when you defeat something you get to exhaust something. So for one cost it might be worth it just to give a little buff but also affect your opponent. So not bad there. I love the art in this one though. Another one cost event, close a shield gate. Choose a base. The next time damage would be dealt to it, this phase prevent that damage. So you get a little protection from your base or only during that phase. So most likely people are just gonna claim the initiative or pass if they can't attack your base. If you have no units, I mean, it might be a way to kind of just survive another round or just get a chance to survive another round or just keep playing, right? So it's a one cost event, which is not bad. Then we have a 2 cost event here in Vigilance, covering the wing. Create an X-Wing token. You may give a shield to another unit. For 2 costs, I think that's definitely worth it. An X-Wing token, you just get another unit out in space, why not? But you give a shield token to another unit, so you're guaranteeing something will be able to attack or survive. You can't give it to that X-Wing token you just created. You're gonna have to hope you have another unit out, either in space or the ground. It doesn't say you have to put the shield on in space. You can give it to a ground unit if you want to. Then we have another 2 cost event, in the heat of battle. This one is Disaster. I don't know if I've seen a Disaster title there. Each unit gains Sentinel and loses Saboteur for this phase. So if you have a lot of X-Wings, a lot of TIE fighters, you can give all your units Sentinel. Or even if you have a lot of droids or a lot of clones, you can give those Sentinel as well. They just lose Saboteur. If you don't have Saboteur, then it doesn't matter. At least you'll gain Sentinel. Be able to protect something. It's a rare card, but man, that artwork looks nice. A lot of action going on there. Kind of expected, right, to have some battle scenes in space. You know, it is Star Wars. So then we have we're going into our command cards. Apology accepted, a 1 cost event. We have Vader there, accepting his apology, obviously. Defeat a friendly unit. You may give 2 experience tokens to a unit. So you defeat something, you're going to give experience to something. I mean, it's very thematic, obviously, right? With, I think it was A New Hope, or was it Empire? A very thematic thing here. You're going to defeat something and give an experience token, 2 experience tokens to something. So this is actually a powerful card for 1 cost to give 2 experience tokens to somebody. That's not bad. We have a 3 cost ground unit, Veteran Fleet Officer. It is a command heroism. It's a resistance unit here. 2 attack, 1 defense. So it's low statted, but when you play this unit, you get to create an X-Wing token. So you're going to create something on the ground, something in space. You're going to spread yourself out a little bit, not just focusing on one arena. This would probably be a decent card in draft or some kind of sealed or draft events. Just kind of get units in both arenas. It will die with anything though. Then we have a 4 cost space unit, Resistance Blue Squadron, command heroism. It has a 3 attack, 4 defense, resistance vehicle fighter. When played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of friendly space units. So if you have 2 or 3 space units, you can give that damage to an you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number. So it's good to have space units, especially if you're going to play the Resistance Blue Squadron. On round 3, you might have maybe 1 or 2 units out in space. So you'll get some damage in there, at least, hopefully, right? That's the hope. Now, this is one of the cards we revealed with the Prestige earlier in the video, the Starhawk. This is the artwork there, so it's a little bit different artwork with this one. And we already read the ambush there. You get an ambush, and you also your resources that you're paying for stuff is cut by half, rounded up. And this is a legendary card. Then we have the Bunker Defender. It's a 1 cost ground unit, 2 attack, 1 defense. It's a Sentinel. I'm sorry, it's not a Sentinel unless you control a vehicle unit. So if you don't have a vehicle unit, this is just a little lonely guy out there trying to defend the bunker, but most likely he's just going to get wiped out quickly. But it's a 1 cost unit, so this might be an option in draft or sealed events, right? Just to kind of get that those units out on the first round. Then we have Jarek Yeager. It's a 2-cost unit. It's a unique unit coordinating with the resistance from the show resistance. So if you put him on the ground, it's a 2 attack, 3 defense. That's pretty typical stats for a ground unit. But if you put it as a pilot, it's going to cost you 2. While you control a ground unit and a space unit, attached unit gains Sentinel. So if you don't have that ground unit and space unit, you're not going to get Sentinel. You're just going to get a pilot that gives you 2/2 upgrade, which is pretty typical, nothing special. For Jarek Yeager, I think there are other pilots that do the same thing. That's not unique. But how often are you going to have a ground unit and a space unit? You're going to have to build a deck around that to kind of get that Sentinel effect. So it might not be easy to get, but it just depends. It's definitely a constructed type of card. Then you have another 2-cost, I'm assuming command, Heroism, most likely. The finger is covering it. It's a ground unit, Seasoned Fleet Admiral. It is a 1 attack, 4 hit, Rebel Twi'lek official, more Twi'leks. This gets raid 1 when attacking, so you'll attack for 2. When an opponent draws 1 or more cards during the action phase, you may give an experience token to a unit. Which is very interesting because giving experience tokens just for drawing cards, that might be interesting. Now, I think in Twin Suns they explained that this card is pretty powerful in Twin Suns because with one of the tokens you take during Twin Suns, you have to draw a card. So you're definitely giving out experience tokens guaranteed in Twin Suns with this card. However, drawing an opponent drawing cards during the action phase doesn't happen that often. So maybe in constructed this might not be a viable card, but it might be. Who knows? But it does defend for 4. Then we have a space unit that costs 4. It's called the Clone Combat Squadron. Sorry, in command. It's a 3 attack Republic vehicle fighter that defends for 3. This unit gets +1/+1 for each friendly space unit. So the more space units you have, the stronger this card gets. So this is definitely one of those cards I think you want to definitely have in your Republic decks, just because you're gonna want to get these as powerful as you can. If you have 2 space units, it's already a 5/5, and it's not unique, so you could put a number of these clone combat squadrons, and it's in green. So if you're able to ramp and get more units out there quickly, this could be a pretty strong card for an uncommon. Then we have for a 5-cost space unit, the MC-30 Assault Frigate. 5 attack, 5 defense, Rebel vehicle capital ship. More Rebels. It has Overwhelm, but it also has raid 1. And it's a common, so for a 5-cost, 5 drop, yeah, why not? I mean, this is pretty typical, I think. For 5, round 4 might be low statted. I mean, the raid 1 kind of helps to give it a 6/5. It might be an option with that Rebel keyword. It might actually make it viable in Leia and some other decks that give that Rebel synergy. A 1-cost event in command. All wings report in. Exhaust up to 2 friendly space units. For each unit exhausted this way, create an X-Wing token. So if you're dependent on attacking that phase, well, with this card, you're going to have to exhaust 2 space units. And then you're going to create 2 X-Wing tokens. So for the next round, you're going to have at least 4 units that are going to attack in space. At least 4, right? Because you need 2 to exhaust. If you have more space units ready, then definitely it's going to be a lot of space units attacking. It's a 1-cost event. If this is worth doing during your turn, you basically skip a turn if you don't have no space units to attack the next round with 4 units. It might be worth it. Either way, this art looks awesome. Even though some of the sequel movies I didn't enjoy so much, I did like some of the battle scenes in space, and this was just awesome seeing a bunch of space units in those movies. So anyways, good art on that one. Then we have Lightspeed Assault. This is from The Last Jedi, this scene here. It's a 2-cost event and command. Defeat a friendly space unit and deal damage equal to its power to an enemy space unit. If you do, deal indirect damage equal to the enemy's unit's power to its controller. So you're going to defeat a friendly unit, similar to what we saw in the movie, right? Very thematic. You're going to deal damage equals to its power to an enemy unit. So if you're going to defeat something that costs 5, you deal that 5 damage to a space unit. Then you deal indirect damage equal to the enemy's unit's power. So if that unit had a power of 4 or 5, you give it to another. You give indirect damage to the person chooses where to put that damage space to their base or other units. So yeah, you're giving a bunch of damage here. This event might be actually quite powerful if you have those big units out early. And this is just a command card, so Heroism and Vigilance can use this. So if you put this in a Piet deck with big capital ships and they're doing this maneuver, that's giving a lot of damage and removing big units that you don't want. So not bad. This is a 4-cost event called Focus Fire. Choose a unit. Each friendly vehicle unit in the same arena deals damage equal to its power to that unit. So you're gonna give a lot of damage to one unit. It's kind of like maximum firepower, just in command, where you just choose one unit, you deal damage, you choose another unit to give damage to the same unit. So this is very similar type of event. It's a 4-cost event. So if you have a bunch of TIE fighters or a bunch of X-Wings that are, just there against a big capital ship on your opponent, well, you can use this card to kind of help bring down that big capital ship. Might be a useful card, but most likely in constructed decks. Now we get into aggression. We have a 3-cost space unit called the Prototype TIE Advanced. It's a aggressive villainy card. It attacks for 4 and then defense for 3. So this is just your standard common card that's gonna give a lot of attack and probably not survive that attack because it just defends for 3. So this is just your common here space unit. Then we have a aggressive heroism card, a 6-cost space unit, the Rebellious Hammerhead. It's just your typical Hammerhead. It's not unique. It will attack for 5 and it will defend for 7. Then we have another rebel keyword here. When played, you may deal damage to a unit equal to the number of cards in your hand. So if you have 5 cards, you're going to give damage to a unit for 5. It can be pretty powerful if you have a lot of cards in your hand, right? And you just remove something. So it can kind of clear the field, clear the way in space for you. Then we have a 2-cost aggressive unit. It's in space supporting ETA 2, or the ETA 2, ETA 2, however you want to say it. It's a 2-attack, 2-defense Republic vehicle fighter. On attack, you may give a ground unit +2 for this phase. So if you have ground units that you want to support, like Anakin, for example, now you can give them a buff of +2 on attack. So that's the only key thing about this card is the on attack. If it doesn't survive, you're not going to give that buff to a ground unit. So and obviously the stats here are pretty low. This is going to come out probably around round 1 or 2. So yeah, I mean, it could help. But yeah, the Republic keyword, so that can kind of help you out in some of your clone decks, I think. Then we have a space unit that costs 4, the Orbiting K-Wing, something from the extended or expanded universe. It's a 4-attack, 4-defense vehicle fighter. It has Saboteur. So just a 4/4/4 with Saboteur. Typical, just regular space unit. You'll defeat shields and you'll go around sentinels. So might be something helpful. If you put a pilot on this, then you can get a little powerful, right? Then we have a 6-cost ground unit, Insurgent Saboteurs. That's a cool looking artwork in hyperspace. That will look awesome. It's a 6-cost aggressive card, 6 attack, 5 defense, a rebel trooper. It has Saboteur. And on attack, you may defeat an upgrade. So it's a pretty strong ground unit. It attacks for 6. But, typical stuff here. Nothing too crazy, I guess you can say. Defeating upgrades, that means you can defeat pilots, get rid of pilots in this new set, or anything else that's annoying, right? But if you're able to attack, which most likely you will, you can defeat an upgrade. This also works with ECL. So if you want to do an energy conversion lab, you could ambush this unit, kill something, and then you defeat an upgrade also on the way. Why not? Then we have a 1-cost upgrade, targeting computer. Attach unit gains if you assign all indirect damage dealt by this unit. So if you have a unit that deals indirect damage, you get to assign it. Not bad. That's pretty good upgrade here for 1. Then you get a buff +1/+1. So not only does your targeting computer help you, or just makes you choose where to put the indirect damage, you also get a buff. So why not have that targeting computer upgrade on every single ship? Right? You get a buff and you get indirect damage. You can assign it. Another 1-cost event in aggression. It's a hotshot maneuver. Choose a friendly unit. For each of its on-attack abilities, deal 2 damage to a different enemy unit, then attack with the chosen unit. Wow, pretty good. So yeah, just all about giving damage, right? Giving damage and attacking, being aggressive. So I think this is a 1-cost event that's pretty good to have. You know, why not? Obviously, if you're an aggressive player, you want to get that damage in quickly and as fast as possible to as many units as you can. And this is a rare card here. Then we have another event in aggression. It's a 2-cost event called Shoot Down. Deal 3 damage to a space unit. If that unit is defeated this way, you may deal 2 damage to a base. So 5 damage with 2 costs. Yeah, you definitely want to kind of have this in an aggressive deck. If you're gonna defeat a unit with 3, it most likely could happen, especially early in the game. Because most people are going to be playing ships that don't have that much hit points. So if you able to get rid of something, you get to deal 2 damage to a base. So it's a nice way to kind of get rid of something, but also give damage to a base. So not a bad card. Another event here in aggression, a 3-cost event called Face Off, with an iconic image here of the first movie. What's it called? The Phantom Menace. Slowing down here. Give me a second. Let me take a drink. Alright, so with this card, it says if no player has taken the initiative this phase, you may ready an enemy unit. If you do, ready a friendly unit in the same arena. So if you want to kind of face off with somebody, obviously what the name of the card is, to kind of help you out maybe next round so that unit's not around, this might be a good option for you. Either way, that we got the hyperspace preview here. This is something that was probably spoiled on a stream or something. Next, we have another 3-cost event in aggression, Piercing Shot. Defeat all shield tokens on a unit, deal 3 damage to that unit. So pretty simple, direct. Costs you 3, might be expensive. Most likely, you won't have the units that have shields on it. You might not. I mean, I'm not sure how often that's going to happen. But either way, it's an option that you may want to have. Then we have this 2-cost in Cunning. This one's called Cold-Blooded Act, and we have here the translation. Exhaust a unit and give it -2, -0 for this phase. Then, if it has 0 power and isn't a leader, you may return it to its owner's hand. So this is something that you can kind of get removal if you need something removed quickly. Costs 2. Might be useful, might not be, not sure. Either way, we got that one there. Let's go to the next one. Fly Casual, Cunning Heroism, 1-cost event. Ready a vehicle unit. It can't attack bases for this phase. So 1-cost event. I mean, if you need to, you can attack with a vehicle unit before you play this. Obviously, then you can ready him, and then he could attack a unit in space, or in ground, doesn't matter. But here we go, just admiring the iconic view, or the iconic image from Return of the Jedi. So the next card here is a 4-cost command, the Kimogula. Am I saying it wrong? Heavy fighter in space. We got the hyperspace preview here. It's a 3-attack underworld vehicle fighter that defends for 4. When played, deal 3 indirect damage to a player. Exhaust each unit damage this way. So the indirect damage, they're going to choose where to put it. If they put it on a unit, it's going to exhaust it. So most likely they're going to want to put that indirect damage to their base, because most likely they're not going to want to exhaust their units this phase. Then we have a 4-cost ground unit called the Shadowed Hover Tank. It costs you 4, so it's going to attack for 5, defend for 3, Sentinel. So it's a low-cost Sentinel, but it will attack for 5. So if you have to go through the Sentinel, you might just get them damaged. You might just get removed from the board just because it attacks for 5. It is a pretty heavy Sentinel in terms of attack, so it's gonna stink going through this Sentinel here. Then we have a 1-cost event in Cunning called Barrel Roll. I said that weird. Barrel Roll. Attack with a space unit. After completing this attack, you may exhaust a space unit. So it's a 1-cost event that might be useful in your space decks. We have another 1-cost event called Diversion. Give a unit Sentinel for this phase. Units in this arena can attack your non-Sentinel units for your base. So yeah, if you want to give Sentinel or something for 1 cost, that might actually be useful. It's a cheap event here, so it could be something that you might need or might use. Then we have a 2-cost event called Jump to Lightspeed and Cunning. Return a friendly space unit and any number of non-leader upgrades on it to its owner's hand. So pilots can come back to your hand. That space unit will come back to your hand. Next time you play a copy of that unit this phase, you may play it for free. So if you have a lot of damage on a ship in space, bring it all back to your hand and then play it for free. So that's a rare card. This actually might be useful. There's a lot of that going on in Cunning, right? With the bringing back to your hand and doing those type of tricks. Then you can play it back for free with no damage on it, which is nice. Another 3-cost event in Cunning, Torpedo Barrage. Deal 5 indirect damage to a player. So for 3, you're going to give 5 damage. And then if you... that can be pretty powerful, just giving 5 damage straight up to something. Kind of... That's similar to, Open Fire costs 3 as well. You give 4 damage to a unit, but you choose where to put it. Kind of like the Cunning's way of giving that Open Fire type of damage, but you're doing 5 instead of 4. Not bad. Then we have a 1-cost unit in Villainy, a ground unit, Indoctrinated Conscript. If you put it on the ground, it's a 1-attack, 2 hit points, very low unit. But as a pilot, it's going to cost you 1. You can put it on a pilot for a +1/+2 stat line. It's a common, so it's just your common pilot you want to put on something. Most likely useful in draft and seal type of events, just to kind of get those upgrades on something quickly. Another 2-cost event in Villainy, There is no escape. Choose up to 3 units. Those units lose all abilities and can gain abilities for this round. Helpful for Snoke, for example, if you're playing another Villainy deck. But you could choose 3 units. They lose Sentinel. They lose Grit. They lose other keywords, right? All abilities. So maybe you're able to clear up a few things, with this card. It's only cost 2, so I don't think that's a bad cost for this card, and it's a rare. Then we have Heroism cards. This one is a 6-cost space unit, Jedi Light Cruiser. It's a capital ship, which attacks for 6, defense for 7, Jedi Republic vehicle. So it's a typical 6-cost. Around round 5, it probably could be useful. Obviously, you can put a pilot on this and make it stronger as well. So you have another Republic unit here, but it's also a Jedi. So if you depend on that Jedi tag, that could be also relevant. in your deck. Not a Force unit though, just Jedi. Another heroism card, two cost event, coordinated front. You may give a ground unit +2/+2 for this phase, or you may give a space unit +2/+2 for this phase, so you can buff up your 2 arenas if you need to. I think it costs 2. It's okay. This one is similar to your drop-in, or yeah, I think it would be drop-in. It's a 4 cost event, dedicated wingman, and you create 2 X-wing tokens. So pretty simple. X-wing tokens are stats 2 attack, 2 defense. It's a 4 cost event, so it's similar to drop-in. Then we have a 1 cost unit in ground, Celestin Spacer. So if you put them on the ground, it's a 1/1 stat line. Worthless on the ground. But then you could put them on a pilot. It's going to cost you 1. It's a 1/1 pilot. Just simple stats here, 1/1, 1/1. So most likely draft or sealed events, you're going to be putting on this Celestin Spacer. Because maybe in constructed, it might not be worth spending 1 resource. Then we have another 1 cost event, and this is just kind of similar, yeah, aspectless. So Celestin is aspectless. This attack run is also aspectless, no aspect assigned. Attack run, attack with 2 space units. For 1 cost, if you want to swing with 2 ships and you know they're going to die soon, this might be a good option. It's a common 1 cost event. Might be useful. So either way, this is a cool looking image here. This is from The Last Jedi, right? I think it was from The Last Jedi. Cool scene at the beginning of that movie. But either way, these are the updates for, or the new cards revealed that I had this week. There might be more that haven't been revealed. I don't want to say that everything's been revealed so far. I'm not making that statement again because I was obviously wrong in my last video, but either way, I had 50 cards here. There might be more that I missed this week, so I'm not sure if there's more. Maybe there is. Either way, love getting the new previews, love getting the new cards as well. So let's do what we typically do, and at the end of my videos, let's open up some packs. We'll do some Spark of Rebellion packs here. So yeah, 2 weeks until the release of Jump to Lightspeed, and I've been seeing a lot of previews. A lot of people have been opening packs. A lot of people have been getting their what's it called, the press release kit, you know, with like all the goodies and all the previews. So I've been seeing a lot of new cards being revealed, the new mats that they've shown off, the new deck pods. But also, like, especially a lot of the hyperspace cards, just seeing all that is pretty cool. And I think there was one video that I saw that some of the guys actually participated in like a draft type thing because they had enough cards to do it. But either way, it's cool seeing all the new stuff. So with these packs here, let's see if we get anything cool. Got our commons. We'll be doing this here pretty soon with Jump to Lightspeed. Alright, no hyperspace there. We got our uncommon Power Failure, Power of the Dark Side, which is a strong card, General Dodonna, and we got a rare Spark of Rebellion, which is a nice card in your heroic decks, and then ISB Agent foil. Nothing too crazy there. Just Spark of Rebellion is a nice card to have. Let's see what we get here. Hera Syndulla. Even though we didn't get a Hera leader, or a Hera, we got a Hera unit, but either way, I think the new some of the new Spectre cards look pretty cool. Like what was it called, Sabine's Masterpiece. That one looks pretty. I think it'll be pretty strong in a Spectre deck. I'm actually kind of looking forward to making a Spectre deck, especially with Sabine's Masterpiece. All right, no hyperspaces yet. Then we have our uncommons, Chewbacca, Prepare for Takeoff, which this card, I already saw that it's been reprinted for the new set, which makes sense for space. Then we have a hyperspace Force Choke, and then a rare Traitorous. Traitorous is a really good card that a lot of people don't like seeing in a foil Bossk. All right, one more pack. I need to pull out a Vader, another Vader. I need to get another Vader. think I only have 2 Vaders, I think. But if you pull another one, that'd be great. Got a Leia Organa. Alright, go through our commons. We got a Hyperspace here, Disabling Fang Fighter. Viper Probe Droid. Restock. Another Prepare for Takeoff. Power Failure. Another Power of the Dark Side, so that's 2. And a Legendary. My gosh, what Legendary did we get? Let it be Vader, please. Nope, but Luke Skywalker. Nice. Nice. This is the second Luke Skywalker that I've opened up live on this channel. It was in my first video, my what's it called, the preview video, or the video, the welcoming video that I did here with my channel. I opened up a Luke Skywalker, and now we have another Luke Skywalker. Nice card to have, actually. And then a common Death Trooper. All right, so that's the packs here for this video. Thank you so much for spending the time here, listening to the updates, and listening to just me ramble on for about an hour, which is not easy for me. Let me just tell you that much. This is a feat here, just being able to talk for an hour about stuff. I've taken a few pauses, taken a few drinks, and most likely my face from the beginning of the video to the end of the video look completely different. I probably look more tired now. But either way, I appreciate everybody so much for watching the videos. I appreciate everyone subscribing to the channel and supporting this here. And obviously, we're going to have more stuff coming on with Jump to Lightspeed. Star Wars Unlimited is growing in popularity, and it's not stopping right now. We're going to keep going. So thank you so much for watching. Until the next one.